Hi, I'm Peter Loving, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how to choose the right pricing strategy for your SaaS. A lot of SaaS companies struggle with pricing, and quite rightly so, because pricing is quite a complicated and difficult topic to master and to get it just right. A lot of thinking goes into it, and it can make a big impact on revenues over months and over years, which can accrue. And then you're not really looking at insignificant figures. So it's important to give it some thought. Also, what can happen if you get it wrong is that you can leave money on the table. You know, you're not actually charging enough, and this is quite common. The SaaS companies, they're not charging enough for their product. And also, I've seen SaaS founders get stuck as well with pricing, and they're not sure how to resolve it and what to do. And if you get stuck, that's also a problem, because that becomes a bottleneck for working on other areas. You know, once you resolve it, you can work on other areas that are also going to contribute to the whole process of onboarding new users. So it's important to get it right. If you do, you have the right balance of friction between sign-up price and cost, and you also make sure that you're charging enough for your product and getting the highest revenue that you can for the value that you're giving. And over years, that's going to improve obviously your revenue streams and your valuation. So let's look at the 3 types of strategies that you can use. First of all, there's penetration pricing. So penetration pricing is used to onboard as many new users as possible for the lowest price. So this is when when you want to use this is when if you're competing in a marketplace that's fairly crowded and you're trying aggressively to gain market share. That's one way. The other reason you'd use penetration pricing is if you're launching a new product and you want to onboard many new users for user testing purposes, to get some feedback. You're trying to get a bit of initial traction and validation, and that's going to inform you and give you the feedback that you need to build out those features, improve them, and to grow from there. So penetration pricing, it's low price, it's cost effective, gets many users as fast as possible, but there are a couple of challenges with it too. I mean, the low friction of pricing for prospects means that they're probably not going to be the most loyal customer base for you. So it's worth considering that. And then over time, you might have a strategy, particularly if you're a new SaaS business validating your product, that once you've got them on board, then perhaps you're going to look at how to start increasing pricing and increasing value for the users that you have onboarded. So the type of places you see penetration pricing are on big deals, low cost deals, like places like AppSumo. You see a lot of penetration pricing on AppSumo. So if you look there for examples, you'll see them in abundance. The next one, the second strategy, is revenue maximization. And now this is where you know that you've got loyal customers, you know that your product delivers value and it's validated, and at this point you want to make sure that you're extracting the most revenue that you can for the value that you're giving to your users. So usually you should be giving more value, a much higher amount of value than the level of pricing. And then once you increase your pricing accordingly, or you price your product at a place that you think will give some friction to new sign-ups, it might price some of your users out. But it means that you're getting value, you're not leaving money on the table, and you're focusing on revenue growth, moving from an early stage SaaS business into perhaps a kind of revenue-based or profitable company. And a good example of that is someone like Intercom. I think Intercom are using revenue maximization as a classic example there. And then the third type is skimming. So skimming is often used by the bigger companies, the larger companies who, towards a latter stage of the life cycle of a SaaS business. And what they're doing is they're splitting out their product offering into different categories and targeting different user groups. And really the purpose of that is to maximize profitability from the same product. So Salesforce are a great example. You see there are many different suites, many different user bases that they target for Salesforce. I think we're also seeing HubSpot moving into that direction as the product is categorized out into different user groups, and the pricing reflects that accordingly based on features. So these are the kind of larger companies, and they're really working on building in their profitability, increasing profit. You also actually see this in consumer gadgets and consumer product businesses. Apple do it a lot on iPhones. So when you see a new iPhone launched, later on you'll see the lighter version with it, which is just kind of got slightly stripped down features at a cheaper price point, and that's targeting your lower price range users. You know, maybe students or maybe lower income or people that don't want to spend as much as for the top spec of a phone, and that means they're able to have another group of paying customers. So you see that in SaaS a lot. So there we go. Those are the three strategies that you can use for pricing: penetration pricing, revenue maximization, and skimming. Obviously, that they're not all encompassing. You might see a SaaS businesses move from one to the next over their life cycle, but those are the ones you should consider. So I'd love to hear about your business. Where are you based? Which pricing do you think would work best for your product and for your vision of your SaaS business? Good luck with that, and good luck on improving your product so you can get more users and grow.